What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your finished play, Crash Bash, or I'm sorry, Crash the Wrath of Cortex Part 5. Here we are in the fifth warp chamber, or the fifth warp room. This is Cortex's area. We are beginning level 21, Crash and Burn. This is an interesting level design because it's on the it's on a island. So Cortex, as well as Crunch, will talk to you 3 times, just like they did in with the other bosses, or I guess the masks. The Crunch didn't really talk until you fought him during his boss fight. But in Crash 3, Cortex and Uka Uka didn't talk 3 times. I believe it was only twice, and then the third talking role was filled in by Aku Aku to remind you to be careful and wary of Uka Uka, you know, not just to focus solely on Cortex. But anyway, so you can see here, island, the water here can kill you. You can see the sharks there. Those are the same sharks that we've seen before. You cannot shoot them with the bazooka. You know, it doesn't matter either way, but you can't shoot them. So you know, if you wanted to, sadly you can't. If this is actually lava that's raining down, but none of it will hurt you. It's supposed to act like rain, but none of it hurts you, so you don't have to worry about dodging any of it. The crabs, as well as those rocks will not hurt you. They're just kind of, I guess, for show or for like a background thing. You don't, like I said, don't have to worry about them at all. But we do have the bazooka, if you remember, because we beat the air elemental boss fight. And you can just see some of the enemies here. The monkeys, I believe you can jump on their backs with the bananas. I may be wrong though. The parrots here will swirl around until you get close enough to them, and then they will dive bomb you. You do want to be careful because sometimes they can actually hit you. The range for their, I guess you could call it blast radius, isn't that wide, but you still do want to be careful. Like you can see here, I think you can actually destroy that box. Yeah, so that just kind of gives you a sense of their range. I don't think the steam there will hurt you, but you still want to be careful just in case. But anyway, so like I said, nothing really to worry about with the enemies here, at least for right now anyway. There is a death route here, so you want to make sure that you don't die going up to this point. If you're not familiar with the game all that much, that can actually be pretty difficult, just because getting through the level is pretty difficult by itself. I haven't mentioned it before, but you don't have to worry about the what do you call it? Ow, crap. You don't have to worry about dying in the bonus round, because that does not count towards going after the death route. Usually, if you have already been through the level and you wasn't able to get through the death route before, and you come back through the level, you should already have the gem and the crystal, so you wouldn't have to worry about going through the bonus round. Even if you haven't been, you know, even if you like die and then you want to come back, if it's early enough in the level, you still don't have to worry about the and you still want to come back into the bonus round for whatever reason, you know, you don't have to worry about it. I don't think you can shoot the. I actually didn't know you could shoot the parrots out of the sky. They are kind of hard to hit because, as you can see, they are swirling around. You just kind of have to get lucky and time it just right. Of course, I couldn't get the timing right on that one, but yeah, that is something useful you can do. You know, because you have the bazooka, you really don't have to go after a lot of this stuff. If any of these enemies worry you at all, you don't have to actually fight them. The biggest obstacles that are going to be in your way are the nitros that are scattered around, as well as the lava. There is a bunch of lava, as you've already seen. And so you do have to be careful. Some of these platforms do rise out of the lava, and you can ride on them, but these platforms here will fall underneath your weight and very quickly. Like you have barely a second to get away from them. This is a dangerous area you do want to be careful of if if you're having trouble. Now there's some rocks that will fall here while you're trying to travel up. They can get in your way, and they can actually mess up your ability to get to the death. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you don't have a mask going through here, and if you have trouble with these rocks, they can actually get in your way. But you can hide on the very edge of the platforms, and they won't be able to get to you. If you can see there, the death route is kind of shaped. There's got a feathers like Aku. Let me see if I can get the camera angle around very well, but you can kind of tell with kind of like a feathered, I guess, headdress like Aku has. So I guess it's supposed to be like match the island theme. I'm not really sure, but anyway, so this can actually be pretty difficult because you can see there's a lot of nitros scattered around, but there's also a lot of holes scattered around as well, and you can see the fire coming out of those small gaps. Crap. Thought I could make it. Now this is something bad. If you do get into this position where you do die while going through the death route, and you don't have a mask coming back into this area, you can actually die pretty easily. Of course, you do get a mask coming into this little area, so it's not as bad. But if you had like 2 masks coming into this area originally the first time you come through here, and then you die in the death route and all that, it can actually be pretty difficult. So you do want to just be careful. Take it easy, take it slow while going through here. Crap. Don't really worry about it too much if you lose your mask early on, because you really don't need it. I didn't really need it there. It's just because I was stupid and wasn't paying attention. Crap. You do want to knock out these nitros along the way because they are in your route. I was hoping I was going to be able to. Oh, I thought that was a box, not a cage. I was hoping to knock out the nitros as I go along, but I don't believe I'm going to be able to, unless you have to have really quick reflexes and then do it while you're going along. But I don't think so. I believe the game will let you knock them out as you go, so you don't really have to worry about it. Something that is new: you can actually use the bazooka on death routes, gym routes, or death route pads, gym route pads, and bonus round pads, which is something you could not do in Crash 3. So that's just something, if you want to do it. There's not a whole lot of opportunities to do it, or to hit anything really, if you're just lucky. Sometimes you can hit a few items here or there, but not all the time, to be honest. And I don't really find it that useful, but it is something that you can, if you want to practice using it. There, in like level 22, there's an area that you can knock out an enemy in to get a while going into the bonus round, and I'll point that out once I get to it. You can see here we get the red gem, and now we can go back to level 8 and get the prize there, or the gem, and the there's a secret power. It's not a secret power. It's a hidden power up, or power there. It's not a power up, like you get with the boss fights. So there's actually 6 instead of 5, like in Crash 3. And of course, once I go through and get all of the relics and everything, I'll make sure to point that out and get it. But anyway, yeah, we have to go this way. But anyway, well, I guess I could go after it now, couldn't I? That's what I did with Crash 3, but I haven't done that with this game yet, but it doesn't really matter. Now, these rocks can actually hurt you. You do want to be careful. You know, just be cautious and be wary of those rocks there. As I said, they can actually hurt you. And you want to be careful and pay attention because of the lizards that were around there. Just the lizards that are around here as well. Let's see. There we go. I guess I'll go ahead and wait until I go through with the bonus round to get the well, I don't know. I could use it. I would be able to use the power that you get there from that level in the rest of the levels, but I guess I'll wait. I hate to, but I'll go ahead and wait. It doesn't really matter anyway. So we'll go to Gold Rush. This is another desert western themed level like Smokey and the Bandicoot was. Except this time we'll actually get to see a little bit more of the level and actually, you know, play on it on foot instead of in a Jeep. This is not the same. I don't believe this is actually the same level or anywhere near the same level as it was in Smokey and the Bandicoot. I believe this is something totally different. You can see these cactus will puff up like the oh, what were they? The enemies in the future levels would the kind of half the ones with the spikes in there was in the yeah, I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, those act kind of the same. You cannot shoot them with bazooka once they are inflated, but once they are smaller, you can shoot them with a bazooka. You cannot hit them in any other way. You can only use the bazooka to kill them. You can see here that it inflate. Oh, I guess you can hit them when they're inflated. I always thought you couldn't. My bad. Now you want to be careful because these donkeys will actually kick you if you get close enough to them, and that's actually pretty close. The range for them is actually pretty wide. It doesn't take that much to get up to the behind the donkey, so you want to be careful. I don't believe it's a one-shot kill. I don't think it will throw you off the level, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. So you do want to be careful. Now this level has a death route in it as well, I believe. So, yeah, it does. You do want to make sure that you don't die, and I don't think I've died yet. So that's good. Now here, this is a section where you can die pretty easily because the scorpions hanging on these hanging ceilings return, so you do want to be careful and pay attention to that, and also when the right time to drop off on the other side of the hanging areas. You can see Crash's shadow there. That's about the time when you want to drop off. You don't want to do it before because you'll obviously you'll fall. You want to be careful. You want to make sure that it's Crash's shadow. Sometimes, as you noticed, that you can see the mask's shadow. Now here with this minecart, you continuously tap the A button to make yourself go faster. You hit the B button to kind of flip up and so that Crash can kick up in the air to get the boxes that are up above. You cannot jump with this. The only two controls are you push the A button to go faster, or you press the B button to do that. Now you cannot hold you cannot make the kick, the kind of kicking thing go up and stay for any longer. It's just you can either quick tap it or you can hold it down. There is no difference to the length of time that Crash will stay in the air. So you do want to keep that in mind. If you wanted to maybe get an advantage by doing that, you can't. So that does kind of take timing to kind of to figure out when you need to tap the B button so that you can get up and get those boxes. Those are actually pretty easy to miss, so you do want to be careful. Now you can see these guys with the dynamite, they will throw the dynamite in your path. You cannot blow up the dynamite yourself, and you cannot hurt the guys with the you can't hurt the guys with the dynamite, so you just want to keep that in mind. And you can even have masks on the death routes and the gym routes, and I don't think the bonus rounds are, I'm not 100% sure. And you can see there he's kind of two guns for the crossbones, and he's got a old, I guess, Western style hat, or a mining hat. I'm not 100% sure what, I guess it could be both. But anyways, you can see two different types of, I guess you could call them miners, with the the dynamite users. You do want to be careful. As I said, there's no difference between the two of them. I guess there's just just so they wouldn't seem like they were using the same character design over and over. I guess that falls on its own. You want to be careful if you are using the ability to glide with the Death Tornado Spin, because it seems like, and I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like it falls a lot sooner than what the one in Crash 3 does. So you won't stay in the air quite as long, and once it does drop, it drops at a pretty fast rate of speed, so you do want to be careful. If you do decide to use that, for that purpose, you just want to be careful, pay attention, maybe practice with it sometimes. That's a good way to, get yourself used to it. And I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I missed the bonus round. I may not have, though. I'm not exactly sure. The levels, once you get to this point, the levels get pretty long, and they can get drawn out as well. And so unless you really remember the level very well, and yeah, I did miss the bonus round. Crap. I kind of remember the spot where I know where the spot where it is, and I remember passing by it and thinking, oh well, I didn't see the bonus round. Well, it's I guess I just convinced myself that it was up somewhere farther ahead. But anyway, so we'll just go ahead and go through here, finish the level. You can see all the boxes and everything, and I'll just get the gym off screen. I'll show off the bonus round. I will cut to show the bonus round, and then I'll just finish the level off screen, and then we'll go on to do level 23 and the rest of the levels. So that's how I will fix my mistake. Again, don't worry about the slot boxes that you can see from far away. As long as you can't hear them, as long as you don't hear them, you don't have anything to worry about. But the minute you can start hearing them, you do want to kind of speed up. But they don't go off as fast as some of the like the ones in Crash 3 did. They oh yeah, kind of knew that was going to happen. You kind of have a time when. Kind of a time delay. You have to get really close to them for them to go off and turn into metal. So you really don't have to worry about it all that much. You do want to pay attention to it. You don't want to mess around once you get really close to it. And even if you are really close to it, I knew I was over that. Even when you are really close to it, you still want to pay attention and be careful. Anyway, just watch the pictures on the thing, whatever you call it, on the side of the box. Just watch the pictures on the side of the box, and you should, I don't know why I keep getting these boxes, and then you'll be able to see that, you know, you'll be able to see the, how fast it's going. You know, that'll kind of give you a way to judge if you need to kind of hurry up or if you don't need to. But anyway, so, as I said, do apologize, I'll be right back. Alright, so here it is. If you kind of remember the area where I was, I can't believe I missed it. Sadly, I did, but you can see there, you can actually hit the, I think you can still hit him. No, okay. I thought you could still hit the buzzard, or I guess the vulture from there, you know, from where I was, but sadly you couldn't. But anyway, so, yeah, you know, bonus round, a lot of different puzzles. There's, with this game, there's not any one specific puzzle, as you've seen before, and as I've already mentioned before. It's different, like I said, it's different puzzles with different degrees of difficulty. It's not tied to one bonus round. Of course, as you go along, the bonus rounds, I know that's just a nitro box, as you go along, the bonus rounds can get more difficult. They usually, the biggest difficulty spike is just the more puzzles and a little bit harder puzzles, but it just the added thing of more puzzles. You know, like you saw how many jumping puzzles there were, and a few sections where, you know, okay, well, should I use the bazooka, or should I just, you know, go, you know, try to hit it in by spinning it or whatever, you know, just different puzzles like that. But anyway, so as I said, I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and then I'll see you back in the warp room. So until then, see you in a second. Okay, so welcome back. As I said, I went in to go to Gold Rush to get the box gem, and I should have already showed off the bonus round. But anyway, so when I went back into Gold Rush, I do want to mention this really quickly. Cortex popped up again and had said, "Bring it on, you brain-dead Bandicoot." If you're familiar with the game and you know all the cutscenes and when they're supposed to appear, and you don't see that one, that's why. I do apologize, but it's nothing special. You know, you already heard what he said, so that's all it is. Except the only difference between the last time he spoke is that his head is in the middle of the screen instead of to one side to let another head appear. It was just Cortex, not anybody else. So that's just wanted to mention that in case, you know, like I said, if anybody who knows the cutscenes better than I do misses, you know, notices that it doesn't get shown, that's why. But anyway, so see here, Medieval Madness, a medieval themed Ultrasphere level, one of the hardest Ultrasphere levels, if not the hardest in the entire game. Definitely very difficult, especially as we go later on in the level, and it's actually very easy to miss boxes because you need so many of them. You see 167, and as I said, it's very easy to miss the boxes, so you do want to just take it easy, take it slow. You know, if there's a side area or anything like that, you know, something that looks like it's kind of off out of the way, but it's a path. It doesn't hurt to look there and look around all those little orbs at the beginning. Just look around things like that. And you want to be careful here because there's some wooden wheels that will come down, and Tiny will block the way. You want to get around him because he will go almost all the way. He will leave a little gap in the wall for you to get around, but not much of one. And as I said, you know, you just want to, I think that's the other alternate path I'm supposed to go along to get some boxes along here. No? Yeah. Okay. You do want to be careful because it's actually pretty easy to overshoot and fall off. If you do fall down on those sticks, you will die, even though it looks like you could make it, you won't. So just be careful while going along through there. There's no boxes down there, so don't worry about going after those. Just get around those pushing things, and then just get get up here, and then just wait here for that to come down, and then just go up here. You want to be careful because you can actually fall off there pretty easily, and it's very hard to get back up there if you do fall. Let's see, there's one way I'm supposed to go. I think this is the right way. At least I hope it is. Make sure I'm not missing anything over here. Oh, okay, so that's just if I happen to fall down that way. Those little rocks will not hurt you, so you don't have to worry about those. I kind of remember the path, so that's why I'm not, like, a section like that I didn't want to go along, because I already knew that there was nothing over there. Check down here, no. But you actually kind of want to go that way just so you can get around Tiny. This is where Tiny will block you off, and it's very hard to get back around him. But there are boxes along at the end of this very difficult path, and you can hear there dingoes up there as well. Waiting for us, and as I said, it is that path is very difficult to get along. It's got a lot of nitros, but just getting through the nitros, that's not really the bad thing. The bad thing is trying to get back around Tiny. Let me check up here really quickly. I'm kind of yeah. Wow, can't believe I missed those. Well, yeah, I guess I can. Really wasn't paying all that much attention. And there's the C box I was looking for. But I guess it's better that I died, because I would have missed those 4 boxes anyway. Then I would have been really ticked off, because there's a set. You cannot backtrack once you get to a certain point in the level. You will not be able to backtrack any farther. So you want to make sure that you get every single box that is through this section now. And you can see they do give you 3 lives in case you need them. But if you're not that familiar with this level, you'll usually end up using more than that, around 8 to 9, possibly 10. So those that 3 lives really won't help you out. Now what you have to do here with Tiny is you want to kind of just get right behind him, and then just, let me see. There we go. Okay. You want to lead him out as far as you can on the right side of that path, and then just kind of get around him. It's not for sure thing every time. Like I said, his hitbox is actually pretty wide, or I should have been able to get around him by leading him. You want to be careful not to fall or get hit by Entropy or Dingo. But it's kind of you notice how wide his hitbox was, or I would have been able to get around him by leading him all the way to the left side, then trying to get around him on the right side. So you do want to be careful and pay attention to that. But for the most part, it is pretty easy, and most of the time that lead him to the far right side and then loop around to the left side usually works. You can see here, this is a maze. You have to just figure out, avoid Entropy and Dingo, and try to get to the end of the maze. I don't think there's any areas with boxes, but the crystal is along the right path. So as long as you find the crystal, you kind of know where you're supposed to be. Be careful through here, because there are a few holes in the metal work, I guess, or the grating, or whatever you want to call that, in this tube. And then just go back this way. And if you notice, I dropped off there to get down to this lower section. That is the section where you cannot come back from. So if you do fall down here and you end up missing some boxes, well, you're out of luck. There's no way you can get back up there unless you die. I guess unless you die, but you'll have to die and then go back through a large portion of the level again. So you do, it's kind of up to you whether you want to go through that or not. I guess it's better than leaving the level without no gem and then doing the entire level over again. So yeah, I would suggest die if you end up missing any boxes, because from where you would come back, you can easily come back from that, and you'll be able to backtrack from that point in the end. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I think you can. It's kind of difficult, but you can. Where those wooden platforms tip from side to side, if you go up to that section where I missed those 4 boxes right before the C box, before the tiny area, if you go up there and then run really fast, you can get back to the left side of those tilting platforms. It is kind of difficult, but it can be done. So if you do end up missing any boxes, that's about the best way to go, to go about going back that way. But anyway, so if you notice, I didn't take any damage, and so I did come back with my 2 masks. You can actually, if you go into one of the Altosphere levels with a mask, you can actually, I don't think that light will actually hurt you, so you don't have to worry about avoiding it or running through that section any faster than you normally would. But the mask will actually protect you. It depends on how many masks you bring in there, but those masks will protect you from damage, like getting hit by Entropy or Brio, or Dingo. If you do fall and die, however, they will not protect you, so you do want to be careful and pay attention to that. I didn't actually know there was a grate up here, so I guess that kind of just gets you used to the way those platforms work. I knew there was one here because you kind of need it going to this section, but yeah, you want to be careful here. Kind of a bad spot for a mask, especially. So I guess you can use those. Use these with a going into a bonus round. But if you can tell with the music, it glitched, and so now the music is the regular level instead of the bonus round. See, I think there's a puzzle here, so we'll want to be careful. I'm pretty sure there's a puzzle here. I'm not 100% sure though. Yeah, I think it's for later on in the level. Yeah, I think it's a life box. Yeah, nothing too special. So we'll go ahead and knock that out. Come on, there we go. Doesn't really matter. I don't need to go after the other. I don't need to go after anything else. And now you can see the music restarted again. I've never actually brought a mask into the bonus round before, so I didn't know the music would turn back in. Once you lost the mask, it would turn back into the level music. I don't have to worry about killing him. But yeah, using the bazooka in these levels to kill those enemies along those sections is actually pretty difficult. Like a section like this. It's because there is so much, because it's not linear like in the other levels. And yes, you actually can use the mask while using the mech. And I kind of used a little bit too early. You wanted to use it. You wanted to have it for this section. I believe it would die about right there, about right where the laser line is. I think you can just see how useful it is. You don't have to worry about getting every single box. The fireball back behind, that's chasing you will destroy everything. So you don't go out of your way for any boxes. Of course, you do want to go after mask boxes, but regular boxes you do want. I believe you have to hit that metal box, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's actually pretty easy to get to, so you don't really have to worry about missing it. A lot of these boxes you can actually hit anyway, but just because it will slow you down if you don't go straight. You will slow down a little bit, and the hitbox for the fireball is actually pretty wide. So if you slow down enough, you'll actually get sucked into the fireball. You won't get sucked into the fireball, but the fireball will catch you. So you do want to be careful. I'm pretty sure you can actually jump on these enemies' heads. I'm not 100% sure on that though, but if I remember correctly, you can jump on enemies. Now through a section like this, you do want to keep moving, like with the fireball, where the fireball lets you get across to the third jump before it started chasing you. There is a reason for that, because if you do mess up and do the slow standing still jump, this jump you do have a very high chance of dying while going around one of these holes. I'm trying to kill this robot, and I'm trying to get this box as well, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, there we go. You just have to get high enough. Now you want to be on the very back of one of these platforms just so you can jump across without slowing your momentum down and having a chance to kill yourself. You got the bazooka there. You might as well use it on a difficult box like that. I mean, it's not really difficult, but it's kind of dangerous to go around something like that. You're not too difficult. I believe the first mech suit level was a little bit more difficult. The fireball is kind of this is really difficult or scary or really hard or whatever. But in my opinion, I think the first mech suit level was a lot harder and a little bit longer than this one. But anyway. So, we go into Cortex Vortex now. This does have 2 gems in it, and I believe you have to have all 5 color gems to be able to get the...
Crash, you've been a naughty boy, but now that's going to end.
Okay. But yeah, I believe you have to have all 5 color gems to be able to get to the thing in here, and since I don't, sadly, I won't be able to do that now, but I will do that while going after the relics. Or I may do them all in a separate video. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't want to mess up the way that I do the relics. I like to do all the relics, or a whole bunch of relics in one video, and I don't want to have to stop for to go after a gem. So I don't know. I may save all the gems for their own video. I don't know yet. Or I may go ahead and get them all at the end of this video. Like I said, I don't know yet. But anyway, so that thing will hurt you. If it's low enough, it'll hurt you. And you can't slide underneath it. So you do want to be careful. As you notice, I did take damage there. And this is by far the hardest level in the entire game. Of I guess the regular levels. The regular on-foot levels. This is by far the hardest level of that design. Just because of all of the stuff that's in it. If you notice the lasers or the plasma lines or whatever you want to call them. And then you have the electric floors. And then the shield. Lab assistance return. Not electric floors, but whatever those are. You want to be careful because you can easily jump into them if you're not careful. So just take it easy, be careful. You have to figure out the timing, but it's not that difficult. And because you do have the double jump, you can jump over the shield. The shield lab assistance pretty easily. It's actually a lot easier than you think it may be, and a lot more efficient, I guess you could say, unless you want to pull out the bazooka and use that. Which I don't do all the time, so I usually will either spin them or we'll just go ahead and jump over their heads. You see the beaker throwing lab assistance return for this one, as well as the cyber, the cyborg, either the cyber ones or the cyborg ones. I don't remember what exactly their name is. The electric floors do return. They stay active all the time. You can see there's kind of like a needle-like thing that seem to go down and refresh the charge of them. They stay active all the time, so we do want to definitely be very careful. You see there, we need the green gem, and I don't have the green gem because I didn't get it in level 4, sadly. My bad. But like I said, we'll definitely come back for all of the I'll come back for that gem later, as I've already said. But anyway, because I really don't need boxes or lives anymore. If you kind of notice, I'm kind of going through this a little bit faster than I normally would, and I'm not really concerned so much for the boxes as I would be, or like going after all the Wumpa Fruit as I would normally be. And you can see here another, just like in Crash 3, you have a field of nitros. You can either run through with the masks or just use your bazooka. Either, it doesn't really matter which way you use it. Of course, it is fun to run through there with 3 masks, but it's not necessary, because it is a lot shorter than that section is in Crash 3. So that kind of makes it not as necessary, but anyway, so. Hopefully it won't mess up. Yep, there we go, okay. So now we get to go fight Crunch. Crunch time.
Congratulations, Crash. You should be proud of yourself. Not only have you collected all the crystals in record time, but you also defeated the elementals. Let Crunch and me be the first ones to congratulate you. By pummeling your sad Bandicoot frame into a pulp.
Okay, so this boss fight is actually going to be a little bit different than a lot of the regular boss fights that we've fought in these types of games. We don't actually fight Cortex, we fight Crunch. And it's interesting because you can see, if you see those lights, yellow, blue, of course on the capture it looks kind of purplish. Ah, crap. Kind of purplish, red, and purple or pink. Those are the different elemental buttons. Yellow is Rok-Ko and will rain down meteors that will follow you. If you notice the Cortex figure at the bottom right of the screen, it shows what he's doing over there on that pad. The blue one is Wawa, and that throws ice that will trap you. It won't kill you, it won't hurt you, but it will trap you. So you do want to be careful, especially if he brings out the meteorites. See, Uka is at the top of the screen, waiting for you, and what the fire will do is, if you can see the steam rising out of the grates in the floor, those will turn. Those will turn the steam. You can see the steam come out of the floor, and then fire will shoot out of the floor, and that will kind of give you an indication when they're about to go off. Now, the air elemental will do is he will have electricity run out of those little spikes on the side. You can see they're kind of littered all over the arena here. You do want to be careful and pay attention to when he uses the spikes, because more and more will appear. And if you notice, if you do miss, like I did at the beginning, if you miss him a bunch of times repeatedly, oh crap! I was not paying attention at all. I'm getting ready to shoot Crunch. You will have to redo whatever scenario of buttons that he pushed. So you do want to be very careful, especially for this fourth one, because you can see the pattern keeps changing all the time. And all you have to do is just four times, and the fourth one is obviously the hardest one. And then you get the crash dash. You can see Uka holding Cortex up there. To run faster, hold the R button while running. So just like it was in Crash 3, except we don't hold the R1 button. We hold the right trigger, or the R button, whatever you want to call it. But not that difficult of a boss, really. Once you learn the fourth phase, or whatever you want to call it, is the hardest by far, without a doubt. Once you learn the pattern of the elementals.
Did you ever let me win? What do you want from me, you cretin? Cortex! You realize that Crash may have collected all the crystals, but he doesn't have the gems. With the gems, we can resurrect the masks one last time and destroy that Bandicoot once and for all.
Okay, so just telling us we need to craft the gems now and the relics. But once you learn the elemental patterns and all that, it makes it a lot easier by far. And you can see Crash, I guess, dancing there with the disco lab assistant. But anyway, this is just the first, the first wave, like it is with the other games. I guess more Crash 3 than Crash 2, but there are two endings. This is the alternate ending, and the final ending will be once we get all the gems and the relics and everything. But for time reasons, I'm going to go ahead and do the trivia and everything for the levels that I've done so far, just because I won't give my final thoughts until I beat the game, beat the boss for the final time. But anyway, so we'll start with Crash and Burn, Volcano, Crystal, 2 gems, clear and red, 138 boxes. Enemies are Boxing Crab, Monkey, Lizard, Suicidal Bird, Lava, and the rocks that come out of those little geysers. Crash and Burn is the 21st level in Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. This level is set in an island with an erupting volcano. The level's death route contains a red gem that unlocks the red gem path in Bonsai. Trivia: This is the only level in the entire series to have a bonus round with an Aku crate in it. Only level in the entire series to have a bonus round with an Aku crate in it. I guess so, yeah. The world is similar to Crashes to Ashes. This is the first level that was in development. This level was originally going to be about 75% bigger. They don't say like how much bigger, but anyway. So Gold Rush, Desert, Crystal, 2 gems, clear and yellow, 209 boxes. Enemies are Inflating Cactus, Swooping Vulture, Kicking Horse, Donkey, Scorpion, Dynamite, Explosions. Gold Rush is the 22nd level in Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. Crash will travel through a western-themed region that is filled with gold mines and western towns. He will also come across many hazards, including scorpions, vultures, and loose sticks of dynamite used to mine for gold. At one point in the level, Crash will have a chance to ride on a minecart. It is the only level in the game to have 209 boxes. Trivia: Gold Rush contains the most crates that Crash must break in a specific level throughout the Crash Bandicoot series. Gold Rush refers to a gold mine. The name of the level also refers to a real-life event in the 1800s. Let's see. Medieval Madness, Altosphere, Castle, 1 crystal, 1 gem, clear, 166 boxes. Hazards and enemies are fire pits, giant wheels, tiny pushing obstacle, dingo, and entropy. Medieval Madness is the 23rd level in Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. It is a castle lab-based level, which is also traveled via an Altosphere. The level needs to backtrack for some of the crates in this level. In the Xbox and GameCube versions of the game, the soundtrack for this level is actually the tune from the Gauntlet, which is, I guess, the level from the level by the same name here. This level is like the level Globetrotting from Crash Bandicoot 2 Entrance, which is a game for the Game Boy Advance, the second Game Boy Advance game like that. The second Crash Bandicoot Game Boy Advance game. So Crate Balls of Fire, Space Station Chase Mech, 1 crystal, 1 gem, clear, 110 boxes. Enemies are Claw Robot, Hovering Robot, Radiation Rays, Green Droid, Blown Up Ship, and Antiplasma. Crate Balls of Fire is the 24th level of Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. It takes place in space, probably on some space station, and looks similar to the level Droid Void, and this level also contains a chase where Crash Bandicoot is running from Sunfire with his mech on. Enemies of this level are weird robots and exploding bombs. Trivia: the name of the level could be a reference to the group Earth, Wind, and Fire. Moreover, the game is based on the elementals. The name could also be a pun of the old saying, great balls of fire, which was often used in the past as a replacement for, oh my goodness. Also, the name could also be referenced to the 1952 song Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis. Okay. Cortex Vortex Space Station Generator, 2 crystals, or I'm sorry, 1 gem, 2 crystals, both clear, 155 boxes. Enemies are Harmful Gate, Hovering Robot, Door Pushing Lab Assistant, Electric Ceiling, Vial Throwing Lab Assistant, Electric Floor, Cyborg Lab Assistant. So they got this grouped into the same. I don't think it's for the level. Let me see. Okay, well, they don't have it. And they don't have it in the level version, I don't guess. Well, I'll try to find it really quickly. Let's see real quickly. Where's that level at? There we go, okay. Cortex Vortex is the 25th level in the Rattler Cortex. It takes place in Cortex's space station, and it's full of lab assistants, nitros, and electrical traps that defeat Crash. This level is considered the hardest, excluding bosses, out of all 25 levels. This is also one of only 5 non-relic platforming levels without a bonus. The others being Nighttime, also from Rattler Cortex, and 3 gem stages from Crash Bandicoot 2. Entranced, Wild Nile Ride, 101 Arabian Kites, and Firewalker. Yeah, I guess this level didn't have a bonus round, did it? Okay, well, no trivia for this level, so we'll go to Crunch Time. Let's see, Crunch Time. A boss, space station, speed shoes are what you get for the prize. Hazards are Rok-Ko's rock, showers, Wawa's ice blocks, pyros, fired panels, and Lolo's electrical grid. Crunch Time is the final boss in Rattler Cortex. After getting all the crystals and collecting the Crash can foil the plans of Cortex, who is teamed up with Crunch and the 4 elementals, as the arena seems to take place in a spaceship that is round. There are 4 ways that Crunch can attack, and the colored circle lights tell which kind of elemental Crunch will call upon. After stomping on the buttons corresponding to the light, yellow means Rok-Ko, indigo means Wawa, red means Pyro, and violet means Lolo. After defeating Crunch and Cortex at the same time, Cortex is held in midair by Ugook while spinning around, and Crunch stands idle. The speeches apply to Coco as well, as given the ability to run faster, and is rewarded with either the normal or good ending, but the ending cutscene depends on whether or not Crash has managed to collect all the gems. However, in order to collect all the gems, Crash must collect 25 of the 30 relics to unlock the levels in the secret hub and win this battle to unlock the hub themselves. Like I said, the 2 different endings. Trivia: because the Fruit Bazooka is the only way of getting Crunch to box Dr. Cortex down so that Crash may harm Cortex, this makes the ability the only one in the Rattler Cortex that is mandatory for a boss battle. However, it is also an obligation to get the power-ups as proof that Crash cleared the battle, that he won the power-up. It seems Rok-Ko has temporary control over fire because the rocks he uses to attack Crash are hot and have a flaming tail. This is also the first time that Wawa's dominion over ice is demonstrated, as he uses boulders that are frozen solid to attack Crash. After Lolo's control over electricity is seen in this battle, and directly at that. Also, Lolo's control over electricity is seen in this battle. As the secret hub cannot be unlocked without first defeating this level, the normal ending is inevitable for the first time that Crash clears it. The Xbox GameCube version of this boss battle is unique in that you can see a health bar for Cortex something never seen in the other consoles. Alright, so that's all the trivia and everything for levels and everything I've done so far. So thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is, how many times did Crunch push the elemental buttons during the entire boss fight? Thank you for watching. Next time we will go after the relics. We'll just go through and see how many relics I can get for all the, in one video in part 6. So until then, later everyone.